My ex attempted to cheat on me. However, it did not work out for him. After a while, my ex would sleep with his phone in his pocket, which was a strange red sign, but I never said anything. I knew something was wrong when he wouldn't even pull out his phone in front of me. It slid out of his sweats one night, and I woke up with it near my legs. I was about to put it on the charger when I noticed he had a slew of notifications and messages from a dating app. I wanted to smack him awake. But I didn't do it. So I made a profile using photos of a friend of mine that he never met, and I had her approval. She was just his style, and I knew he adored blue eyes. So, when we matched, like I predicted, we started conversing. We had been talking for approximately a week before I proposed we meet. Flirting and encounters. He informed me, that he was unmarried and shared a home with a friend. So I suggested that he pay for a hotel room so that we could FCK. He stated that he would. We choose a location. To be sure, I paid for everything because he was out of work after losing his job. He used deception to drain my savings account over the course of a year. We're family, we look out for each other when we're in trouble, he'd add whenever I informed him I didn't have any extra cash. I paid off my student loans, all of the expenses for a one-bedroom apartment, and the food. This youngster had the audacity to approach me and ask for money in person. That his mother's birthday was approaching, and he wanted to get her something special. As a result, I handed him $50. Simply because it was hilarious at the time. I still remember the look on his face at the time. He left that weekend. He stated that he was going to his mother's house, and would most likely spend the night. I kissed him goodbye and wished him a happy time. Then I packed all of his belongings and placed them outside. It passed quickly because I live in a US metropolis. I had the locks replaced. He messaged me a couple times on the app, and I told him I was running late because I wanted to look great, but I was on my way and apologized. My friend also provided me some photos to send him that didn't totally show her face, she's real. I even persuaded him to jerk off and email me a video. Then, after forcing him to sit until about 1 a.m., I sent him a picture of his possessions being rummaged through by a homeless man via the dating app. And to enjoy his hotel stay. I went to bed as soon as my phone rung and blocked his number. He was standing outside my door when I got home from work on Monday. Ugly sobbing. Begging. He told me he was homeless and had nowhere to stay. When I refused, he became enraged, as is his wont. I contacted the cops when he began grasping and attempting to enter my unit. I filed a restraining order because he threatened my life, and the lives of my pets, for evicting him. He ended up moving a few hours away to be closer to his sole family, and he has a job. I hope he learned anything. Story number 2. Because of my ex's infidelity, I'm broken. I'm a 23-year-old woman who will turn 24 next month, and he's 26. We had been together for a year and a half and had a really serious relationship, we were even talking about marriage. I ended my relationship with my ex last week after discovering he was sleeping with this 31-year-old lady who had tried to befriend me. I didn't bite because we had shared connections, and I'd heard she was difficult. I can see why. So, how do you try to befriend me and my boyfriend at the same time? I wasn't even disrespectful to her. I was polite, but I didn't want to be friends. She had a crush on some single white female. By the way, I discovered this when a friend emailed me photos from her Instagram account. She snapped a selfie in our bed on a day while I was working. It hurts because my ex and I shared a home. When we went to a rally together last summer, I got arrested for him. The police were about to arrest him, and then I threw my body in front of his. I'm not hoping for a cookie for that last bit, but shouldn't that count for something? I believed we had a particular connection, and he frequently brags about me to his friends. You could never be satisfied / I hope you're satisfied, Eliza Schuyler once said. I'm angry with my ex since he persuaded me to pack my belongings and go to a completely new place, Miami, where I had to meet entirely new acquaintances. As a result, I met the majority of my current Miami pals through him, and they're in an awkward situation right now. I'm encouraged by a lot of the support I've received. A number of my girls were following the side chick on Instagram, but quickly unfollowed as I told them what occurred. My younger sister has offered to beat up the side chick. I declined. I don't want to go into any legal difficulties because of her. I'm thinking about returning to my hometown of New York. Oh, and the kicker is that they chose to get together after I dumped him, so they're now acting all lovey-dovey on social media. She's also made fun of me for driving a Nissan Sentra and body-shaming me for being thin. I'm a little insecure since, while I work out, I don't have a naturally huge butt, whereas she does. Boyfriend is a bit of a butthead. They're really slicing the cake. I'm trying to console myself by reminding myself that he'll have to introduce this illiterate skeezer to his mother, a very smart and intellectual Bahamian woman with little place for nonsense, but it still hurts like hell. Update. I, 23F, recently went through a heartbreaking breakup. I discovered that my ex, 26M, had slept in our bed with this woman, 31F. We shared a house. I discovered out when one of my friends forwarded me a link to an Instagram photo shot by the AP in our bed. By the way, the AP had previously attempted to befriend me, but I'd heard negative things about her from common acquaintances and avoided her. I suppose she just wanted to be like me. I deleted my Instagram account a few hours ago because she was mocking my body. I'm slim, and my ex is a butt guy and car. I drive a 2018 Nissan Sentra. The dread. I ended the connection, and I'm guessing they've been all partnered up on social media to get back at me. I couldn't take it any longer and erased my social media accounts. I requested my pals not to text me links to her most recent subs. One of them was a close-up of her in a thong bikini with the phrase "no doubt about what I have that she doesn't." I'd been living in Miami with old man for almost a year. We broke up on Sunday, and I'm currently staying with my mother in New York. Fortunately, I am self-employed and financially independent, thus I am looking for an apartment. Meanwhile, my mother enjoys having someone to go grocery shopping with. I tell myself that I'll get through it, like I always do, but I'm still broken. I genuinely cared for my ex. He was about to get arrested at a protest last year when I threw my body in front of his, so they arrested me instead. I was detained because of this jerk. I assumed he felt the same way about me. But, if he's prepared to let her body shame and taunt me in this way, and if he disrespects me enough to another woman in our bed, does he ever truly love me? Was everything a lie? How can I ever trust another man? This was also my first serious, live-in relationship, so there's an extra element of treachery in the mix. Update 1. I, 23F, recently ended my relationship with my boyfriend, 26M, since he cheated on me with this woman, 31F. She's been mocking me on social media, and I actually deleted my accounts yesterday because I couldn't take my friends tagging me in every time she criticized me. This woman mocked my physique. I'm thin, and she has a large in my car. I drive a normal car, which is apparently illegal in Miami. I appreciated their efforts to warn me to her ridicule or anything, but it wasn't working. On social media, he was all lovey-dovey with her because they'd agreed to be together after I left, probably to me off. He must be sick of her by now, because he called to see how I was doing. He genuinely adopted a worried tone of voice, which I'm sure he was in his own way. But guy, you're the reason I'm upset. He called to see how I was doing. He expressed anxiety since I had deactivated my Instagram account. Why do you think I deleted my Instagram? I asked. He said the AP was out of line. You allowed her to be out of line. You were also out of place for this seasoned skeezer on our bed. I'm not trying to be ageist, but if I knew better at 23, she should know better at 31. Then he told me how much he missed me. I wish I had been completely on board when I told him to get off. However, I was not. I sobbed when I told him to leave. I hung up when he tried to justify himself. Update 2. I, 23F, posted a few days ago about a friend's attempt to hook me up with a 35-year-old recovering addict who had previously had a restraining order for stalking his ex, 8 years ago. We were chatting and planning to meet up tonight, but I messaged him last night and told him honestly that I didn't feel safe dating so soon after my split. He expressed disappointment but said he understood. I'm proud and a little surprised that I made this decision because I tend to self-medicate when I'm lonely, and I also have a history of relationship trauma. My last ex cheated, and the ex before that sexually assaulted me. I understand that self-care isn't always simple, and I believe this decision highlighted that. But I'm rather pleased with myself.